The verse that explains the rise and fall of nations presents a universal law of transformation. Indeed, God does not change the condition of a people until they change what is within themselves, Quran 13:11. This statement is not merely moral advice or devotional language, it is a precise civilizational principle. It reveals that external shifts in the fate of nations are not sudden events but delayed consequences of deeper internal transformations. What appears in politics, economics, and geography is only the visible outcome of changes that first occurred in minds, hearts, and collective structures. The true question is not why the world changed, but what changed within us first. The conditional structure, from within to without. The verse establishes a strict condition: no outward transformation occurs until an inward transformation has taken place. Within themselves refers not to fleeting emotions but to a shared psychological architecture where beliefs solidify, visions form, and priorities are arranged. Over time, this inner structure becomes culture, then institutions, and finally systems of power that guide society. Geography shifts only after psychology shifts. History does not explode suddenly, it matures quietly before it becomes visible. Psychological transformation, the silent spark. Civilizational decline begins with subtle psychological changes that are often invisible to statistics or headlines. It starts when confidence gives way to fear, when mission is replaced by comfort, and when aspiration shrinks into self-preservation. When leaders prioritize avoiding loss over building the future, decline has already begun, even if external indicators suggest stability. Nations do not collapse when they lose battles, they collapse when they lose belief in themselves. Moral transformation, the redefinition of wrong. Civilizations are not destroyed by isolated errors but by redefining what error means. When corruption is labeled realism, selfishness becomes strategy, and responsibility is treated as a burden, standards begin to shift. As standards shift, actions once considered deviations slowly become normal. The true erosion occurs in moral capital, which is more valuable than financial wealth. Once the scale of judgment changes, the direction of the nation changes with it. Cognitive transformation, from producing meaning to consuming noise. Every civilizational rise has begun with intellectual ignition, Athens with philosophy, Baghdad with the House of Wisdom, Florence with the Renaissance, and industrial London with economic reinvention. In each case, ideas preceded power. Decline begins when a society stops generating meaning and instead consumes distraction. Education turns into information recycling, media amplifies agitation instead of insight, and research follows funding rather than vision. Depth fades while surface expands. Structural transformation, when institutions protect themselves. During periods of ascent, institutions exist to serve a mission greater than their own survival. During decline, they become self-preserving entities. Systems that once functioned as tools become ends in themselves. Bureaucracy transforms into a shield for influence rather than a vehicle for public good. This transformation unfolds gradually, as the internal purpose weakens while the external structure still appears intact. The illusion of stability, the most dangerous moment of strength. One of the most dangerous stages of decline is the period that looks stable and prosperous. Economic growth may continue, institutions may seem strong, and profits may flow. Yet beneath this surface, a gap grows between appearance and reality. When form separates from substance, fracture becomes inevitable. The law operates quietly, outward change waits until inward conditions fully mature. The possibility of reversal, hope within the law. The same law that explains decline also explains renewal. If negative internal change produces collapse, positive internal transformation can produce ascent. True renewal does not begin with slogans or nostalgia but with redefining meaning, restoring confidence, reviving intellectual creativity, and redirecting institutions toward their original mission. Change begins by recalibrating the inner compass of those who guide society, for when elites transform, the direction of power transforms as well. Conclusion: the question of the historical moment. The verse guarantees neither automatic victory nor unavoidable defeat, it reveals a mechanism. External outcomes begin as internal causes. In times of global turbulence and competition, the essential question is not only who will prevail, but what shifted within the architecture of collective consciousness before visible events unfolded. History rarely announces its beginnings loudly. It begins in whispers within consciences. To understand the transformation of nations, one must start where the law begins, from within, for every great story begins there.